let's come to our topics, Binfeng.
Okay, I'll just share my screen.
Okay, so tonight we're actually talking about the study options to become the permanent residents in Australia. So I know that Binfeng.
Yes.
Okay, you actually have the same pathway, become like Australian citizen through the studying, right? Can you tell us a little bit more about your story?
Yeah, sure. So I'll just go to the next slide. So I was born in China, and then when I was very young, maybe less than 2 years old, my parents had an opportunity to go to a very, very small country in the middle of the Pacific Ocean called Vanuatu. And there they set up a business and did importing and exporting from China. And when I was about 11 years old, they sent me over to Australia because they knew of the quality of the education in Australia. And I went there when I was to enter year 7, and I studied all the way until university, and then eventually applied for permanent residency as a skilled migrant, and then got my citizenship after that.
咁即係其實Binfeng啦，即係頭先都有提過啦，佢細個可能係大概11歲左右，其實就係跟隨咗屋企人，因為屋企人個背景就係做一啲出入口嘅生意啦。咁因為澳洲其實佢哋估計可能都相信學習方面比較好啦，嗰個 education background 即係嗰個教育方面比較好啦。咁所以其實Binfeng就喺澳洲讀完書，跟住之後咧就留低咗喺當地咧，即係用一個技術移民嘅一個方法留低嘅。
其實咧，佢都有一啲即係比較係轉接啲嘅方法。原來咧，佢其實係喺3歲之前咧，由中國然後轉到去咧，其實喺澳洲嘅東北邊咧一啲太平洋嘅島嶼叫做阿魯亞圖啊，阿魯亞圖啦呢笪地方啦。咁然後咧，佢哋就開咗個生意，咁跟住咧就屋企就送咗佢去嗰邊咧，就係讀書咁一路就到而家咁樣。So far you're quite enjoying the life in Australia, right?
I do. I think I've been to a lot of different countries, either for work or just for travel. And I have to say, Australia is one of those countries where it's very multicultural. For example, if I want good Japanese food, I know I can get good Japanese food, or Thai food, or So I really enjoy living here.
I know now they got quite a lot of fusion food, like in Australia. Very popular there, right?
Yes, that's true.
Okay. So what are you working now as that company?
Yeah, so before this, I was a chemical engineer. And then about 4.5 years ago, my business partner and I, her name is May. She is also originally from Hong Kong and China. We started this business to help people like us who wanted to get permanent residency in Australia or call Australia home. So we started this company called Affinity Migration with the aim of helping others to migrate here.
All right. So it's good, like you understand most of your clients' background and their needs, right?
Yes.
咁相信Binfeng自己本身嘅經驗啦，同埋佢個 partner 咧，咁就都係經歷過同可能大家一樣啦，由技術移民啦等等啦。咁其實而家佢就轉翻，希望自己嘅經驗可以幫到更加多嘅人去完成呢一個移民嘅步驟嘅。
Okay, right. So we can start, learning something from you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, so I guess tonight I'll talk a bit about the most common pathway to permanent residency, and that is mostly from students through skilled migration. This is the most common pathway for students.
Oh, some part missing.
Yep, I will click through those and it'll appear. So from what students normally do is after you have studied, a lot of students go on to what's called a temporary graduate visa. That is a 1.5 to 2 year visa, which gives you the time that you need in Australia to sort out how you're going to get to permanent residency. And there are 3 main pathways. So they are all part of what we call the skilled migration pathway. So the first one is the skilled independent. That is purely based on your own qualifications. The second one is called the state or territory sponsored. You rely on a state government. The third one is called regional sponsored, and you also rely on a state government. But the difference between that one and the one in green is that this one is temporary residency. After 3 years of living and working in what we call a regional area of Australia, you can apply for permanent residency. And I'll explain what regional area of Australia means later.
OK， 咁最常見嘅技術移民咧，咁首先就係澳洲方面啦，咁完成第一個專上教育啦，咁陣間我哋都會講到譬如邊啲學科啊比較係容易啲嘅，咁跟住咧畢咗業之後，其實就會有一個暫時嘅一個臨時畢業嘅簽證啦，即係我哋叫做485嘅一個暫時簽證啦。咁至於最常見嘅3種咧，其實就係分別第一種，咁技術移民咧最主要，譬如睇翻申請人自己個人嘅一個背景啦，譬如可能佢個技術方面其實都好成熟㗎啦，咁其實係可以申請翻189嗰個簽證啦。第二種咧就會係有一啲由州嘅一啲推薦啦，係啦，州政府嘅一啲推薦啦。咁譬如係技術方面咁受到一啲認可咧，咁其實都可以經過呢個推薦嘅計劃咧，就完成一個190嘅一個簽證嘅。咁另外仲有一種咧，雖然一個暫時性，咁同呢一個州政府嘅推薦有咩分別咧？就係呢一個即係地區性嘅一個491嘅簽證咧，就經過3年完成咗相關嘅工作經驗之後咧，咁就會再正式攞到一個嘅技術移民嘅簽證啦。
Okay. So are you going to tell us about the regional sponsor?
Yes, I can. And I can touch on that a little bit later when I show you what regional means.
Okay. All right.
Yeah. So a lot of the questions that we get from students are around, how do I decide what to study? So one of the things that we always say to the students is, firstly, what are you passionate about? Because you are more likely to succeed in completing that course if you study what you are passionate about. If you're not passionate about it, you might give up halfway, and then the whole strategy falls apart. And then once we, so the passion, again, what do you enjoy and what career path would you like to follow for the rest of your life? So that's one thing that we firstly ask. Then we get into the strategy. Once we've identified what courses we can put you in, then we'll look at, okay, the career path that you've identified, is it on the medium to long-term list, or is it on the short-term list? And I'll explain that too in a little bit. And then we also look at the list and we go, okay, is there a lot of competition for the area that you want to get into? And is there a big or a small limit that the government has put onto that particular occupation that you want to get into? All of these things, once we've been through the process, hopefully maximizes your chance at succeeding at getting permanent residency.
OK， 咁我諗可能咁多個申請人啦，揾Binfeng傾過啦，其實最一個主要嘅問題就係話，咁我諗住去升學啦，諗住去移民咧，有邊幾個方向我可以有決定咧？咁其實我諗可能簡單咁講啦，分翻主觀啦，譬如一啲熱誠，特別係因為成個申請過程啦，同埋你讀書嘅過程都係一個比較耐啲嘅時間嚟嘅。咁首先揾到自己中意嘅學科啦，咁你先至可以係堅持落去啦，完成到自己想要嘅一個起步啦，即係完成一個學位啊，或者一個課程嘅。咁第二樣嘢咧，就會去到一個比較客觀啲嘅一個策略啦。包括陣間我哋可能後面啦就會講翻話，我哋可能聽過啲譬如職業嘅列表咯，即係邊一啲可能係嚟緊會係一個需求大啲，或者可能係嚟緊幾年其實可能個競爭都會大喎咁樣。咁去到最後啦，即係喺翻一個政府方面嘅一啲學額或者係空缺嗰樣嘢咧，咁你睇翻你自己中意嘅學科係唔係喺澳洲方面？如果你作為一個技術移民，係一個競爭大嘅學科啊，定係可能係一個比較容易啲嘅學科？咁可能 Binfeng 都可以同我哋講解翻一啲 list 方面嘅資料啦。
Okay, please go on.
So what does the list mean? There are two main lists when it comes to skilled migration, and the occupation that you choose or the career path that you choose must fit into one of these two. If it doesn't, you don't have a pathway. Now, anything that's on the medium to long-term list just means that the Australian government has recognized that these are skills that it needs, but it cannot, I guess, develop enough within the country to fulfill the need. So it must rely on overseas talent to come and fill these needs. And so there are naturally more visa options for this, for occupations under the medium to long-term list. And the pathway can be less complex. With the short-term list, these are the occupations that the government says, okay, we cannot fill them right now, but in the next maybe 5 years, 10 years, we think that we can fill them quite easily through local talent. And so these ones have less visa options, and often the pathway is more complex, meaning you have to rely on a state government to sponsor you for a lot of these occupations.
Okay, Cindy can explain a little bit.
係啦，咁首先，譬如可能咁多位諗住技術移民方面咧，咁首先你個職業啦，或者你嘅申請咧，一定係喺依兩個表裡面嘅。咁第一個表咧，我哋就講翻話，可能係澳洲方面啦、當地啦，長期都需要嘅，或者可能係因為當地咧，其實都仲係有一個空缺，需要一啲申請人啦，即係其他國家嘅申請人啦，去有依個咁嘅專業啦，可以即係完成到當地嘅需求。咁第二個咧就係一個叫做短期啲啦，咁因為可能預測未來5年啦或者10年咧，其實暫時都仲有一個需要嘅，咁就變咗成個申請嘅話咧，咁可能一個中長期嘅一個表咧，咁相對嗰個申請過程會容易啲啦，同埋你可能申請嗰個簽證嘅類別咧，其實可以有多一啲選擇啦。咁但係翻去頭先，可能一啲比較短期啲，可能未來預測5至10年都仲係需要嘅話咧，咁就變咗可能佢個申請個項目其實少啲，同埋個過程可能會複雜啲咯。咁可能有機會係需要一個州政府嘅一個sponsor 啦，咁你先至可以係容易啲做到依個申請嘅。
Okay, so we mentioned quotas before. So each occupation or each group of occupations has a particular quota on it. What that means is each year the immigration department determines that for this particular occupation, we will only allow this many people to get permanent residency. Or we will only issue this many invitations for people to apply for permanent residency. Now,
so that means each year they renew the list.
Each year, sometimes they keep it the same. So they re-evaluate at the end of each financial year. So in Australia, we work in financial years. So they will re-evaluate, and if they need more, then they will increase it. If they need less, they'll decrease it. Yes. So for example, as you can see on the screen, if I can get the laser pointer. So if you see, for example, livestock farmers, every year they give 5,900, almost 6,000 places, but no one applies for it. So that means Australia still needs these people. So let's just say from July this year until June next year, they will probably still keep this demand or this number the same. Yeah. Whereas let's look at engineers. Engineers, less than 5 people have applied as an engineering manager. So again, there's a shortage here.
Right.
Yeah. But I haven't shown it here, but for accountants, for example, there's something like 1,000 spaces. So far, they've already given out 600 something. So probably more than 60% is filled up already. Yeah.
Okay. 咁頭先提過啦，因為每一個職業咧，其實政府咧係有一個空缺嘅一個額嘅。咁其實每一年咧都係會根據佢嘅財政年度啦，就作為一啲調整。譬如作為例子啦，係有一啲譬如農社嘅一啲農夫咧，咁你會見到其實每年政府咧都係大概接近有6000個額係可以接受申請。咁但係暫時去到4月嘅話咧，都仲未見到有一啲特別嘅即係接受邀請嘅一啲申請人咧，去作為一個完成嘅申請嘅。咁另外仲有一啲可能即係大概每年有1000個額嘅一啲，譬如係工程方面嘅一啲管理嘅人才咧，咁其實都係大概少過5個嘅。咁頭先 Binfeng 都提過啦，咁譬如會計師，譬如假設係有每年有1000個嘅話咧，其實佢已經係有大約接近600個一個 invitation 㗎啦，即係大概可能已經係 達到可能60%左右嘅一啲申請
額啦，係啦，即係話 so far 咧，如果零嘅話咧，政府就未發出有任何嘅邀請，可能申請嘅人係冇特別即係有喺度咯，即係冇特別多咁樣。OK。
Now, there are some occupations that are more competitive than others, and by that I mean there are more people naturally that either study those occupations or there are more people from overseas applying for them. For example, accountants and auditors, there are lots because most students from China who come to Australia study commerce, and naturally a lot of them end up choosing accounting as one of their majors.
Wow.
IT professionals is extremely competitive because, as you can imagine, a lot of your IT professionals come from India, Bangladesh, Sri Lanka, and they are highly skilled people with a very, very good English. And so that makes the industry very competitive. And then you've got your other sort of some engineering categories. I'm not saying that you should avoid these, but you should just be aware that if this is the career path you want to follow and you want to get permanent residency in Australia, you have to be just be realistic about your chances and just be aware that you're going to be facing a lot of competition for the same amount of invitations.
明白。咁頭先 Binfeng 就講到啦，咁有一啲競爭大嘅職業咧，咁其實咧可能有好多會計師啦，或者可能係一啲
資訊科技
冇錯方面嘅人才啦。咁其實點解佢哋嘅競爭咁大咧？唔代表你可能係從事一個專業嘅話係冇得申請，但係就要留意翻可能個競爭方面咧，譬如係會計方面啦，可能當地其實好多同學或者可能一啲國際生，例如係中國啊或者其他國家嘅學生，佢最後其實都係揀咗會計作為一個主修科嘅專業啦。咁另外咧資訊科技方面咧，其實都有好多人才咧，譬如係印度啊，或者係其他地區，咁佢可能個發展方面其實都可能比較成熟啲嘅，咁就變咗如果你係從事一啲職業，而又諗住做一啲技術移民嘅申請咧，咁就要留意翻，可能你申請嘅過程咧會面對一個比較大嘅競爭。
係啊，同埋啲印度嘅學生啲英文又好好嘅，真係，咁啊又搶到好多分嘅喎。OK。
So where are the opportunities, I guess? So health and the medical field has always been one of those that has always been in short supply. In Australia, because of the number of years that you have to study, it's not that easy to produce the volume of medical or health specialists that you need. For example, every year, the quota for nurses is about 16,000, and yet we don't even get 30% of that filled up.
Wow.
So there's a big opportunity. So as you can see, there are a lot of different health and medical occupations up there, you know, ranging from probably your high-end doctors and surgeons, which require a lot of years of study, all the way to, you know, your medical imaging specialists and your scientists, which perhaps require less years of study. Yeah, but that's not a reflection of, you know, whether one is easier to complete or not. It's just the years of study that are required and the different fields that they work in.
咁可能係一啲健康方面啦，例如係醫生啊、護士啊，或者可能一啲科學家方面啦。咁其實有好多原因嘅，其中一個原因就可能係因為佢修讀嘅年期比較長。譬如係喺澳洲嘅話，咁完成一個醫生嘅學位咧，咁其實要長達7年嘅。咁另外咧就係加埋可能一啲譬如係需求大嘅學科啦，例如係護士。咁其實每年政府頭先我哋嗰個空缺咧係有接近成6萬，但係真係成功做到申請嘅人咧，可能大概唔夠30%。咁所以其實如果係諗住係從事一個健康科學啦，或者可能係醫療方面嘅專才咧，其實可以考慮嘅。
係啊，因為佢哋咧個機會咧真係比起其他個職業咧係大好多㗎。最主要咧就係因為呢一個專業咧係即係喺嗰個一直嚟講咧嗰個名額又多啦，但係咧即係申請嘅人咧始終都係仲未到掂到嗰個名額嗰度咯。Okay.
Another thing that we realized in the past 2 months is that there was such a big shortage of nurses
Yeah.
that almost all the invitations in the past 2 months, they've been inviting nurses. People who previously had very low scores and didn't think they would get invited were just being invited to apply.
Really?
So that's another advantage of, you know, being a health professional.
But not Australia in shortage of nurses is everywhere.
That's right. But I think Australia, you know, quickly recognized that we need to try and keep these nurses that have studied in Australia here and working here.
True. Okay. 咁其實喺過去嗰2個月嚟講咧，即係其實頭先Binfeng都講啊，喺澳洲裏邊咧係大量需要咧係護士，同埋咧嗰個係嗰個分數嗰方面咧唔係咁理想咧，其實都收到咧嗰個邀請喎，政府即係叫佢哋咧留低喺澳洲嗰度咧係從事呢一個咧護理嗰個行業嘅噃。OK。
Now, this is something that a lot of probably international students, especially from maybe Hong Kong, China, don't really consider. But I think it's very worth considering. They're called skilled trades. So as you can see there, you know, people that work with cars, motor mechanics, automotive electricians, carpenters, chefs. I think chefs is still quite popular from Hong Kong, but a lot of those other ones may not be. So these also are in shortage in Australia, and they cannot fill these very quickly.
咁呢啲咧都係一啲即係技術嘅工作嚟㗎，即係一啲藍領嘅工作，反而咧其實係大量嗰個需求喎喺澳洲裏邊。咁其實家長都可以考慮一下呢一類嘅科目。
係啦，譬如例如可能係同學啦，自己中意煮嘢食嘅，或者可能佢係對於一啲汽車維修啊等等咧係有興趣咧，其實就唔一定係行翻可能好傳統嘅一啲學科咯，例如係頭先我哋所講，可能一啲譬如電腦啊、會計啊，或者可能係健康科學。如果你又係中意做呢一啲嘅興趣啦，咁其實藍領方面嘅工作咧，亦都係一啲比較熱門嘅一個申請嚟嘅，因為好慢先至可以去做到政府想要嗰個人才嗰個需求。
Yeah, so not everyone will want to go to a university or sit in a classroom or a lecture theatre and learn. A lot of, you know, you might get some people who prefer to work with their hands. And go to college, and that's absolutely fine. So this is an opportunity for those people to still get permanent residency. And often these are not taught by universities; they're taught by colleges, which means your tuition fee is probably, you know, half, if not 1/3 of the cost of going to university.
Much lower.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. 其實咧呢啲咁嘅即係技術嘅科目嘅話咧，咁我會覺得都係一個好有潛質嘅科目嚟嘅。第一就係話唔係每一個學生咧都係會行到呢一啲好即係學術嘅方面啦。咁當然啦，個英文都係一定要好嘅，因為你要用即係個工作咧係要用個英語啦。咁但係咧佢哋個學費呢方面嗰個年期會比較短啲啦，攞到個即係合格嘅證書啦。同埋學費咧係平好多嘅，咁我成日都同啲家長講嘅話，其實佢哋係可以咧係經過一個咧咁嘅係文憑，然後咧就係工作啦，跟住咧佢哋大有機會咧就係覺得日後佢哋有機會同埋係想讀書嘅話咧，係所有嘅文憑咧都可以令到佢哋咧係上翻去學位嘅。譬如你讀 chef 嘅話，你都可以讀翻 hospitality 個 degree 啊，或者讀翻啲 engineering 嘅 degree 都係可以嘅。Okay.
And this is just a mix of other occupations that you could consider applying for. Out of all these occupations, one of those that probably isn't looked at very closely is social worker. Australia is in need of social worker. Management consultants also is one of those that is quite good, but not a lot of people get into. And then mathematicians and statisticians is something that's becoming quite big. There's now a role or in the IT industry or in a lot of consulting firms called data scientists, and they like to employ mathematicians and statisticians. So yeah, these are some of the other occupations that you can consider going down.
係啊，咁除咗頭先嗰兩大類別啦，其實仲有啲譬如社工啦，同埋近年新興係一啲譬如數據分析啊等等咧，咁就變咗係對一啲譬如數學嘅主修或者可能係精算啊等等嘅人才咧，需求咧就多咗啦。
OK。
Now, a lot of people also say, well, where should I go study? Everyone automatically thinks I'll go study in Sydney or Melbourne. Of course, they're the most popular states. But my recommendation is actually go regional. What does regional mean? Regional means anywhere in Australia that is not the city of Melbourne, Sydney, or Brisbane. So if we take New South Wales as an example, New South Wales, the biggest city in New South Wales is Sydney. So that is not considered regional. But if you drive up to somewhere called Newcastle, or if you go to somewhere called Wollongong, that is considered regional already. And there are a few good things with regional. For example, if you study in a regional area, you get more points. If you study in a regional area, you are more likely to be sponsored by the state government for permanent residency. And also, when we are looking at the cities, the different states, you also have to be aware of what each state prefers to sponsor. For example, if we look at Western Australia, where Perth is, I'll quickly show you. So Perth is here. This whole yellow thing is Western Australia. We have seen the occupation list change in the last year to about the last year. And I would say something like 80% of the occupations that they want to sponsor on their list are probably health professionals. Yeah. So yeah, you just need to be aware of these things. Each state has different occupations it wants to sponsor because each state has a different market or industry that it focuses on.
咁呢個好緊要啊，因為咧，譬如係諗住去澳洲嘅邊一個地區去做呢個申請嘅話咧，咁頭先 Binfeng 都提過啦，其實佢會建議咧，大家可能揀翻一啲偏遠嘅地區，因為除咗有分家之外咧，咁譬如大家諗起可能係悉尼啊、墨爾本啊等等咧，呢啲其實就唔算係一啲地區嚟嘅，因為佢比較熱門啦，而且嗰個人才方面又比較多啲。咁如果話想嗰個申請可能比較容易啲，或者可能係真係相對嚟講係真係符合翻佢哋嘅需求咧，譬如以西澳為例啦，柏斯啦，大家見到地圖黃色左手邊嗰邊啦，咁其實喺柏斯方面咧，即係過往嘅一啲數據啦，近幾年啦，都係大概可能接近80%咧，其實係睇翻佢自己當地嘅需求，係譬如醫療啊，或者係護士啊等等係需要多啲嘅，就變咗佢嗰個成功嘅申請例子咧，就會係去咗呢一啲嘅職業方面啦。
係啊，因為頭先咧Binfeng都講過啦，其實去好似烏龍港咁啦，其實揸車落去咧都係45分鐘車啊，咁就其實好近嘅，同 Sydney 係好 connected 嘅。咁但係咧已經係作為一個偏遠嘅地區咯喎，咁我亦都話想家長都可以考慮一下，其實唔一定咧去一啲咧好旺嘅地方啊，個競爭係咁大。就算揾工作嚟講咧，我諗喺一啲偏遠地區咧個機會仲大，同埋公司會好啲嘅。冇錯 ，OK。
Yeah, and that's really good that you mentioned before that, some of the cities are connected. For example, Brisbane is here. Gold Coast is probably only about an hour to an hour and a half away from Brisbane. And yet Gold Coast is a major city, but it's considered regional. So, a lot of, Adelaide is considered regional, but Adelaide is probably either your fourth largest city in Australia.
Yeah. 好似Gold Coast 咁啦，其實同呢一個 Brisbane 咧都係爭個半鐘頭嘅。咁其實咧去澳洲旅遊嘅人咧，首先都係揀 Gold Coast 先嘅。咁另外咧 Adelaide 啦，咁佢係澳洲第4大城市，但係佢都係作為一個邊遠嘅地區嘅噃。咁其實咧家長亦都可以係考慮一下南澳嗰邊嘅城市嘅。冇錯 ，OK。
So a lot of the questions that we've been getting recently from students is when should they apply for a student visa? Well, we recommend that if there's no financial difficulties in the family, we would recommend making your plans now. And our reasoning for that is very simple. If you get in the queue, then at least your visa is immigration aware that your visa is in the queue and will begin processing it at the appropriate time. And then if you are granted your visa, you can, if you can't travel to Australia, then you can probably move your study date back a little bit. But if the borders open or once the travel ban is lifted, you can immediately book a ticket and fly to Australia.
冇錯，咁因為依排咧疫情嘅關係啦，咁加埋澳洲封關，其實都好多學生都有問到我哋，咁學生簽證我哋係咪應該而家就要做咧？咁根據翻 Binfeng 嘅一個經驗啦，同我哋分享翻啦，其實而家因為如果譬如家長冇乜特別嘅財政等等嘅考慮啊，咁如果你有一個 offer 喺手，而且已經可以去確認佢嘅話咧，我哋都會建議其實可以做咗嗰一個學生簽證先嘅，因為如果假設佢可能真係封關呢一個措施完咗啦，咁大家開始湧去做申請啦。其實最好咧就係你已經將一個申請交咗上去嗰個網上面嗰個隊伍先。咁如果譬如真係可以開得關啦，已經可以做學生簽證嘅話咧，其實你就會比後來啱啱申請嘅學生咧就會早少少嘅。
Okay, so I'll touch briefly on the process of skilled migration, and we'll probably do another seminar on this to talk about a little bit in more depth. Skilled migration has a few steps. So the first one is the skills assessment. That's where you get your qualifications and your work experience assessed to see whether you can work in Australia under that occupation. The second one is the expression of interest. That is where you tell the Australian government that you are ready to lodge an application in that particular occupation. Sometimes you have to go through the pathway of state nomination, depending on your occupation, not always. And then once you receive an invitation from the government to apply for the visa, you lodge a visa application and you just wait for it to be granted. There are 4 key criteria for this whole process. There are more, but today I'll just touch on 4 key criteria. One is that you need a minimum of 65 points overall. The second one is you do need to complete an English test, and you need a minimum English test result of IELTS 6 in each band. You need to be on the occupation list that we mentioned before, the medium to long term and the short term. And you must be under 45 years of age.
Okay. 咁首先咧，由於一個申請嘅一個因素咧，其實有好多啦。咁但係至少Binfeng提過有4樣嘢係一定要達到嘅。第一樣嘢咧就係大家都知道呢個移民有一個計分啦。咁至少你要達到65分，咁你就可以考慮做一個申請啦。第二樣嘢，英文嘅試，譬如 IELTS 啊等等咧，你都需要完成咗。譬如可能7分或者8分，佢會有相應嘅分數嘅。咁第三樣嘢咧就係各位嘅一個專業咧，就需要係頭先我哋所講啦，係一個政府認可嘅列表嗰度啦。咁最後一樣嘢咧就係呢個申請就要最好咧就係要45歲之前。咁至於成個流程咧，咁就有幾個步驟啦。第一個步驟就係首先你係要有相關嘅一個經驗啦，或者係相關嘅一個專業資格。咁第二樣嘢，頭先所講嗰4樣嘢，同埋可能其他啲考慮因素，你達齊啦。咁申請人咧就可以交一個意向書去做一個申請嘅。咁當然啦，譬如頭先所講有啲州政府推薦嘅一啲嘅申請計劃啦，或者可能佢嗰個類型咧，咁就要經一經州政府。咁之後咧，如果係達到分數，或者係你咁啱頭先我哋所講個配對，你係有一個咁嘅需求，咁其實你就會受到一個嘅邀請啦。咁呢個邀請咧就變咗你正式其實就可以做一個簽證嘅申請。咁之後就要等一個結果嚟審批啦。好啊。
Okay, so this is something we'll talk about next time, but there is another way to getting permanent residency through business investor visa. When a lot of people think about or hear the words business investor visa, they think I have to spend a lot of money. It's not always the case. It is still more expensive, but you don't necessarily have to spend millions. It's not like that. So there are 3 main categories that we'll talk about next time. The first one is the business owner, someone who already runs successful businesses in Hong Kong or somewhere in the world, and they have 2 different streams that they can go in to apply. The second one is what we call the savvy investor, someone who is very good at, investing on the share market, or very good at buying property then selling it. So that's the second one. And the third one is for people who don't have experience operating their own business and probably don't have property or shares in their name. But what they do have is maybe a great business idea or a willingness to run a company that is doing something new. And you can be anyone. You can be a student that has just finished university. You can be a working professional that has some great experience in your job. So really, this is probably one of the more exciting ones that we're seeing, called the 188E and the 132B. And that is something that I do want to talk a little bit about in another seminar.
咁做少少預告先啦。咁頭先 Binfeng 都同我哋簡單解釋咗呢個技術移民啦。咁嚟緊咧，我哋就會係講多少少咧有關於一個投資方面嘅。咁大家可能以為投資移民係咪一定要等成100萬先至可以做到咧？其實就唔一定嘅。咁就大概分咗3類啦。譬如可能你自己本身已經係喺香港可能有一盤生意啦，或者可能係一啲投資者啦，係特別係地產啊或者股票等等有啲投資啦。咁最後一樣咧188E啦，咁其實我哋到時咧嚟緊會做一個預告啦，咁就會詳細講。譬如我哋而家好興講一啲初創企業啦，咁其實唔一定可能好有經驗，或者你已經營運嘅一盤生意，可能係啱啱畢業嘅學生，或者係你咁啱係一個專才，你係想做一個初創嘅企業啦，咁其實你都可以經過呢個投資嘅簽證嚟做到一個移民嘅申請嘅。咁呢個就賣個關子先，咁到時我哋將來就可以再另外去用一個時間就再邀請 Binfeng 過嚟講嘅。咁如果譬如大家係收睇咗今集啦，有關技術方面嘅移民咧，如果有問題咧，都可以喺我哋嘅 Facebook 或者係WhatsApp 我哋，咁我哋都會收集咗大家嘅問題咧，就再一一解答嘅。咁今日就多謝 Binfeng 嘅一個接受我哋嘅邀請啦。咁將來我哋就再詳細講多一啲有關投資方面。
Well, if parents or anyone who had interest, like learning more about migration, or investment in Australia, so we'll let them, call us or leave the message in the Facebook. Then we will go back to them. Okay. Thank you very much, Binfeng. This is very useful, talk.
You're welcome.
And then we'll look forward to meeting you very soon next time.
Thank you very much for having me.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you. Bye-bye. Thanks.
Bye.